When he invited you to come and dance on the stage?
Why, after Pune 1, I was not expecting anything, because with Osho you can't expect anything. So, and when he started doing, that was the time when we had one celebration in Mandir already.
Yeah.
Because it was summer and it was warm, because the thing didn't have any heating yet. And before it was in Magdalena and in Malkirti or one of these.
In the barn also.
Yeah, yeah. And there he called me, but I didn't know. He was sitting there doing this, but I thought he means I don't know whom.
Okay.
Yeah. So he wanted me to come and dance. But what happened, it was really great. Then the people, because he didn't stop, then the people were coming. And I was sitting in a little bag with Nirupa, so we were just rushing and kneeling in front of Osho, so nobody would come too close. And everybody was...
I saw this video, he's calling you and everybody comes in front.
Yes.
Everybody comes.
Because I
people didn't understand it.
Me.
People didn't understood, like everybody is called.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was so beautiful, because nobody touched him, or even when he left, when he did his round and wanted to go out, it was opening, no? And the guard, at that time we still had bodyguards for Osho, from a outside bodyguard thing. That guy was so blown away. He said nobody would have touched him or done anything to him. It was so beautiful, he said. He was just behind Osho. He came rushing in, but he didn't have to do anything. And then when I come home, then Nirvana said to me, "Hey, Osho was calling you to dance." I said, I didn't know, So the next time I was more alert. And hopped up on the podium with him. That was when he took my hand and shook me, And afterwards, when I was coming home, Nirvana said, Osho wants to know what you were thinking when he shook me. I said, I wasn't thinking anything. What do I think? And then the next time, he asked if Bhadra could come too. The American, I think she is, or something.
Maitri.
That came later. That was Sheila. Bhadra, the aunt of Sid.
Okay, I got it.
Yes. That was really sweet too, because I liked it, one on each side. But didn't happen again. And then later on, Sheila was asking. The first time that was a big celebration, and I had done all the dresses and things, so I felt a bit weak. So I asked Nirvana if I could go one day to Pythagoras just to rest, because I don't want to be sick for the dancing. And then Sheila found out. So that was the end of it, So she came rushing to Pythagoras. Oh, you are here. And, but you can't dance like this. You're sick. I said, no, I'm not sick. And the doctor said, I can go home today. Everything is fine. No, you can't do that. And you are sick.
Maybe she was jealous of you.
Oh, for sure. She tried. She harassed me quite a bit. And,
she was harassing you.
Yes. She tried every way to find something that could put me down. Anyway, so in the end, she allowed me to just go 5 minutes before the celebration and join the girls from the house, which I was happy about, you know. And I heard, when I was at home, I heard that Maitri is going to dance. So when I came to the hall, I saw Maitri sitting somewhere. No? So I went to her and said, don't you know you are going to dance? And she was like, And I said, come on, let's go. So I went with her to the little podium and I showed her what I do. So, I mean, she can do what she wants, but I thought it might be nice if she has an idea what I do. Maybe it helps also. So then in the end, Vidya came and talked to her, I don't know what. And I had a great darshan, you know, hopping around with everybody else. And then the next time, it was me again. And then after a few times, Sheila asked again for somebody, for a girl from Hawaii, a cute-looking girl. And Osho said to me, you go and look how she dances, you know. So I told her to come in the afternoon to the musician trailer and so she can get a bit acquainted with the musicians and the music and what they want to play. And then I looked at her and she was cute, but nothing was coming out, you know. She was just like a little puppet. So I sent the message to Osho and that was it. Then I also showed her in the hall. Then we went to the hall so I can show her the same I did with Maitri. No? I just felt it would be nice if the girls have something to hold on to. No? And then who comes marching in? Sheila and her gang. Oh, how are you doing? So, but I'm fine, you know. I can enjoy that somebody else is doing this. You know, it's so beautiful to do it. And if you can enjoy it, if you're not too nervous or anything, it's beautiful. The first time Osho asked me to do it, that was through Nirvana, and she came and she said, Osho wants you to dance for the celebration. And that was a celebration that was down there somewhere in one of these warehouses or so, no? Yeah. And so we went down there and just looked at it and said, okay, so coming in, and then Osho comes and then sits down and you do your thing. And because there's a certain thing in the darshan, no? With the gachamis, the humming and so on, and Taru singing her song. So we just thought, oh, let's try this, you know. And it actually stayed like that. It was somehow the right thing from the beginning. Yeah.
So now let's come to when Osho left the ranch and went to North Carolina, where he got arrested. You were there at that time?
Yeah, I was there all the time. I didn't go anywhere.
So when did you left the ranch then?
About a month later.
When he came back from this trip?
When he came back from, no, I left after Osho. When he came back, for some reason Nirvana wanted me in Portland to help her also. So we were there, we were also in the court.
Okay, you went in the court.
Yes.
So you said him bye-bye when he goes for the plane to India?
No. Then I wasn't there. No, I wasn't there when we went back to the ranch, you know.
Okay.
That was some magic moment too. You know, we had 5 cars. Osho was in the middle car. And it went like like a dance, you know. And then, of course, there were other cars trying to come in, you know, from the area there, the people that were not so enthusiastic about us. And they had all their guns and things. So they were always trying to get between the cars, but we didn't let them, you know. So Osho's car was protected always. But they were overtaking and doing funny signs and things. But it was so magic. This drive was very magic. I don't know why, but for me it was. And then we were coming to the ranch, and the people were there. It was in the middle of the night, no? Wow, it was amazing to see. It was so beautiful. It was something, yes. But I also loved it. I could go on the drive with Osho a few times. And it's really something very touching to see his people standing there celebrating.
Like you were sitting in front with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
That is very touching. Very touching. Yeah.
So now let's move further. Osho come back to India and you went back to Germany?
Yeah, we were supposed to fly back, but then there were some difficulties with the machine, with the airplane, and then the family had to go. So then I was, at that time, I was together with Nivedano already, and my daughter was there. So we went to Spain, where Hasya's father lived at that time. So he rented a house for us there, and we stayed. Indradanu was there, and who else was with her dad? And I went with Nivedano to Munich, and I visited my parents, and things like that. And then at one point, I got a letter from Nirvana from Kathmandu. And she said, we urgently need some nighties for Osho because of the water and the rust, everything becomes slightly orangey. And so it would be nice if he could have some new ones. So we went to Munich, to the center, Apita and me and Nivedano. And we started searching the material and getting it and sewing. Okay. So we did a whole lot. And send it all, they were still in Kathmandu, send it there. And then it was again like, what to do now, no? And Nivi and me got invited to some sannyasins in Tuscany, in Italy. So we thought, oh, that's nice, let's go there. So we went there for a little bit. And then suddenly the rumor, Osho is in Greece. So next thing, ticket and off to Rome and off to Athens.
You went to Greece?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And in Greece already there was a little community of sannyasins, and the hotels had opened, the small hotels there. So we immediately got a room and all the friends around. And so I went up to the house and I could help Shunyu a bit, and things like that. No? So it was beautiful to be there. And Nivi could play music again. And so it was great to meet again. You know.
So then he got deported from Greece.
Yes. So we went to Heraklion, was it?
Uruguay.
No, to that airport there.
To the airport.
We met Osho there again, no?
Okay.
And watched until he went into the plane and took off. And then we were going back with a small group with Latifa and Om. We were going to Delphi to look at that place. That was a beautiful place. And I knew that Osho would have liked to go there. So I bought him a book. And later in Uruguay, I asked them a question about that place. And because it was so beautiful, it's on a slope, the whole thing, or goes up the mountain, no? And on the very top there's a big stadium, and all the tourists are where the temples are, and all this. So there's a lot going on. But somehow we were, I think, 8 sannyasins. We all met up there.
Okay.
And we were sitting there and just meditating together. It was so beautiful. Maybe because finally you had the space and the silence to really feel what's going on there. And Osho said this shouldn't be a tourist place, it should be a mystery school. Because the energy is really strong there. It's beautiful. So we went to Italy and to Spain, and when we were in Spain with sannyasins, I get a call from Cologne again, and I should come to Uruguay. And the same day I get a call from my brother and said, come to Hamburg, our father is dying.
Okay.
So I called Cologne and said, I have to go to Hamburg, because I felt that I have to at least see him before I go. And he might go. So that was okay. And Nasya was old enough by the time to be with her father and do things. So I didn't feel like asking for her. Anyway, not on the world tour. That was not the right place. And so I went back, and my brother had booked a flight ticket from Milan to Hamburg. So I went there and I stayed with my parents. And it was good that I did that, because I needed to say goodbye, and he too, no? And also he couldn't speak anymore. It was the right thing. And then I got a call there from, I think it was Shiten again, and I asked my mother, I said, I would like to go now. And she said, and I wanted to know if that was okay with her, really okay with her. And she said, yes, can go. And then the same day, friends of my parents came. He was a priest. So he went in to talk to my father or whatever he wanted to do. And when he came out again, I went inside to see if everything is okay. And my father was totally freaked out. And he couldn't say, he couldn't speak anymore, but I knew he was freaked out.
Freaked out with you?
No, I don't think so. I think from this guy. I don't know what he talked to him.
Okay.
I was so pissed about this guy. And later came the doctor, his doctor, and gave him a shot of something, and my father fell unconscious. And so I was leaving that evening. So before I went into my father and I talked to him. I took his hand and I talked to him, and I could see how he calmed down.
Sinking.
He heard everything, I'm sure. And then I felt really good to go, Then I felt okay, and he never woke up again.
Okay.
He died two days later.
Okay.
And I got a beautiful letter from my mother, and I, of course, I asked Osho then in Uruguay, what is a natural death, and things like that.
So you went to Uruguay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Apita was there already, so then we set up a new sewing department.
Again in Uruguay?
Okay. And we even went shopping there. And there is this one robe, that is a Uruguay robe. We bought the material there, and it came out quite nice. it's black and white, and it has these squares. You might have seen it in pictures. There's a photo session with that dress.
You said names were given to the robes.
Yeah, but
Who were giving the names?
we all together.
Okay.
You know, somebody popped up with something, and then then it had a name.
Okay.
Because it was always so complicated in
Which robe?
with the robe. Yeah, then Nirvana was coming in, and the robe, you know, the la 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 and blah 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 and da da da. Which one? So at one point we thought, yeah, we give it a name, no? Much easier.
You talked about this robe.
Yeah, this is Himalaya.
Himalaya robe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Then we have a 42nd Street also.
42nd?
Street. That is a famous street in New York.
Okay.
That is also a nice dress. Also black and white, and has lots of and black wings.
So, finally, Osho comes back to India. Huh? And being in Bombay for 5 months again, goes back to Pune.
Yeah, that time we didn't follow him.
Okay.
Because we were in Portugal when he decided,
Okay.
now it's enough, no? Now, get me Nilam, I want to go home.
Okay, he said it.
No, I don't think so. But it felt to me like that, you know. It's enough, I felt.
Enough of traveling from one country to another.
Yes, yes. And it, you know, I think he's totally right. No country would have taken him.
Yeah.
No. The closest was really Uruguay. The president would have taken him. He would have loved it for us to stay there. But the Americans threatened
Pressure
him.
from
So,
America.
and he's the president, no? So he has to look after that. And it takes too much courage to say, I don't need your money. I will have it coming in somehow. Otherwise, I think that was too much.
So, when did you came back to Pune to
after Portugal, we went to Munich Center.
Okay.
And they were asked if they can give us 2 rooms. So we stayed there, Arpita and Ashish in one room, and me and Nivi in the other, and the sewing was going on
Still sewing
in
on
our room. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.